Now, let's see how we can delete an existing student. This is the delete method, which is responsible to delete the student based on this ID. Now, we will go and see in the browser how we can add the delete button. Go to students to list all students. So now we have one student. If we want to delete this student, simply we can add an icon to delete this student, or we can add a delete button here. So if we have 10 students, so then in the browser there will be a 10 delete buttons or icons. Let's see how we can delete icon to our table here. Go back to the Visual Studio and we will go to the index page. Here we have 3 columns. So now we will add a new column in the table like th, and this will be like delete. And here we need to add another td, and this td should contain an icon or delete button in order to delete the student. Simply I can add like a tag in HTML, and I will say href equal, href means the path for this link. I will just simply say student controller, then backslash, and then I will decide the action name, which is delete. I can pass here like the parameter, I can pass 1, 2, whatever, but here I need to pass the ID for this student. So I can simply say add student from here, then dot ID, student ID. So if I have more than one student, in this case I will have more than one ahref equal to this path with the corresponding student ID. Now let's close the tag A, and we would like to name it as like X. We can here have an icon, we can here have a button to delete, but for now we are not focusing on the design, so we can just simply say like delete or X or whatever. Let's keep it X for now. And now let's go to the controller, and we need to have a debug point here to see the data, and then I will restart the browser. Now let's go to the students controller. See, this is the student and this is the delete column, the new column, and we have here an icon or something to delete this student. If we click on this, yes, we are here in the delete action method, and let's see the data 1 because the student ID is 1, and let's continue. Now there are no students here because we had only one student and we just remove it. Now let's go now and add a new student. But in order to simplify our job, what we will do, we will simply say that here we need to add a link in order to go to the create a page rather than keep writing here create like this. So I will go now to the Visual Studio. We will go back to the shared folder and to the layout. Here are the links which we have in the layout page, like login, like home, students, etc. Inside this, I will add another li, and I will call it like create student. Of course, we can change this design. We can have a menu with a sub menu, and we can have multiple options regarding the design. But for now, we are focusing on the back end development, not on the front end development. But it's good to know how to create the UL, the menu, and inside it sub menus and etc. So now create student. The controller is a student, but the action will be create. That's it. Now let's go and refresh our browser. We should have now yes, we have here a new link, create student. Click on it. We are now in the create page, and also this design you can change it as you want. So now let's create again John with 10 years and man and keep it active. Submit. Done. So now we have this student and we want to create, for example, another student like Sam and 15, and let's say, for example, Cairo, and submit. Now let's go back to the Visual Studio. We are almost done in the student controller. We have the register method. We will deal with it later. And for now, we will go and we will do the same for the courses, for the rooms, and for the teachers. Let's start with the teachers, and we need to have a view, and we need to have a view for the index page. Already we have a view for the index. Let's make sure teacher, yeah, we have the index and we have the create page. In the index there is nothing, it's empty. I will remove it, and we need to create a design, and the design will be similar to what we did in the index page in the student controller. This is the student index page design. We will take it as it is and we will paste it here. Here in the index page for the teacher, we said that the view will receive list of teachers. So our model here should be a list of teachers. I will say at model, and this should be small letter. And then I have to say list of teacher. That's it. This is our model. And we will keep the same, but we will check first what are the properties inside the teacher model. Go to definition, we have teacher ID, and we have teacher name, and teacher age, and teacher status, and teacher address. We will start one by one. Here there is no student, so will be teacher inside our model, and we have the name, we have the age, we have the address, and we have the delete button. And also here we will change this to be teacher, teacher, teacher. And then we will change this also to be like teacher age, and this will be also teacher, let's say teacher name. Okay, so the first one, sorry, not this is should be the name, not the ID, and this will be like teacher address. That's it. And we have also here teacher in the delete button, and we have dot teacher ID, sorry, teacher ID. That's it. So now the index view for the teacher controller is ready. Now we will go again to the create, but in the teacher, and the create we will remove this, and what we will do exactly what we did in the student create. We will take the design as it is from here. Close this. This is for teacher, and now since this is our form and we have the action will be the same action create and same type post, but here we have the name label, we have the input ID and name. We need to change these values to refer to the teacher properties. Here will be teacher name, and here also will be teacher age, and here teacher address. And same, we will take this copy and paste it here, and this copy and paste it here, and this copy and paste it here. The ID here is I will not say optional, but it can be another ID. You can say here not teacher address, you can say here for example address. That's it. It doesn't matter here the ID, but it's important here to make the name value as the teacher properties. And here also teacher status, and etc. We have the submit button, and that's it. In the teacher we have teacher name, age, status, and address. That's it. So now we have the teacher controller also ready. We have the index, and we have the create, and we have the delete. Let's now refresh the browser. Now we have create student. We need also another link to create teacher. I will close this and I will go back to the layout inside the shared folder layout. For now we don't want the privacy page. Let's remove it. We have students, we have create student, we have teachers, and we need another one to create teacher. So here I will say create teacher, and the controller is teacher, and the action will be create. And also we can do the same for the rooms and for the courses and etc. For the rooms we can say that create room, and the action will be create. And same for the courses. Create course, and the action here will be create. And the registration process will be inside the student controller. So in order to register a student in a class or in a course, we will keep it for now as it is. But now let's refresh, or let's run our project. So now we have create teacher, create room, create course, etc. We will go now to create a new teacher, and this is our form. The same form here in the create student. The name, so I will say that the teacher name is, for example, another John, and the age is 35, and the address also any city, and is active, yes, and click on submit. Before clicking on submit, we will go to the Visual Studio, and we will go to the teacher controller, and we will have a breakpoint here, and we will have also a breakpoint here. Then I will submit. Here we are. The data Amman 35, status is true, and the teacher name is null. Why the teacher name is null? Because the property here is not teacher name. There is an extra letter here, T, by mistake, so we need to change it. Let's stop our project, and I will go to the teacher model. From here, go to definition, or you can access it from here, and here is the teacher name. I can change it like this, but after doing any changes on the models, what we should do, we should go to the package manager console, and we have to add a new migration, and we have to update the database. So first I will add migration. I will call it, for example, edit teacher property, and then click enter. Build failed, yes, because I think we are using this value, so we need to change it. We need to go to the index here, and it should be teacher name. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's build our project to make sure. rebuild. Yeah, succeed. Then we will go here again and I will say add migration, edit teacher property. Done. The up is new property called teacher name inside the table teachers, and here the down is drop the column teacher name. And now we will close this and we will go back to the package manager console and we will say update database. Done. So now we can run our project and we will go to create teacher and I will say John 35 Amman and submit. Now the values Amman 35 John true. Yes. So all the information are correct. So now just continue. John 35 Amman and we have a delete. Now let's go to teachers and let's see how the values will be retrieved. We have one teacher called John, the same values, and then I will say continue. So this is our teacher's data and we have only one teacher.